light of God. Innocence and purity of love. This state of being is the natural state of your eternal self. To invite this truth and to accept this perfection within is to step away from all of the ways and all of the beliefs of being something else. The something else that has sprung from the belief of separation. That something else is a self that every beloved believes is real, authentic, and different from everybody else. All day long, in the everyday life, in a trance, beloveds walk and move and build an existence that keeps affirming, I am separate. I am separate because everything that I see proves that I'm right. I am separate because I don't feel connected. Or I feel connected when I get my way in what I think I know. And then that little bit of hook says, aha, I think I found it. But all the while, the belief in separation continues. And yet every beloved is yearning for the respite of coming home, feeling and living in the divine union of love as one. This is the journey of love. The journey of love to remember and allow the power of God, the power of light and love to transform all that has been made up in the name of separation, in the name of ownership, in the name of death, the belief that you are in danger, that there is something dangerous going on. There is no danger in love. There is no danger in love and peace. But how can you choose peace when your mind repeatedly is a barrage of ideas built on the past? And yet, that can be healed, that can be let go. And the power of God, of your yes, is the power of the universe that can transform and heal anything. To put faith and trust in the power of God, the power of creation, the power of love. Is to begin the journey home. To hold a belief, as humanity does, that there isn't enough, and that you have to fight for survival. In your everyday life, you wouldn't say that you were fighting for survival, except when the anger arises, except when the fear arises, except when the self-hatred arises. Then it becomes more apparent. But when that fear arises, that anger arises, that hatred, self-hatred arises, it's also the opportunity of truly letting go, of seeing it in honesty for what it is, not the truth. Made up, fabricated. It cannot withstand the light. And when you bring the hatred, the anger, the fear, and truly put it into the hands of God, truly, by your willingness, miracles occur. Miracles are not made by ideas of the past. Miracles occur when there is room made and the past is forgotten for a moment. When you put faith that in this world everything can be transformed and healed and returned to love, because it was never God's intention for you to make a body, to believe in separation, to believe in death, to believe that you are separate from everything and everyone on your own, and seemingly betrayed by the rest of the world. There's no betrayal in God. That is all in the mind, the feverish mind, the delusional mind that does not remember. Only love is the truth of the universe. Every moment, in the simplicity of the everyday life, every beloved, in the simplicity, moment to moment has a choice to choose peace or to choose turmoil through knowing, through habits, through the habits that can be nothing else but a defense. They are made to be a defense. They are made in the name of protection and the belief that there is something to control. Now every moment is this divine moment of I can choose. I could choose peace instead of what I think I know. Is this too simplistic? Yeah, the ego laughs at this. It's not complex enough. Why would the power of God make something so simple to return home? Because love is simple. Love is never complex. Love is always peaceful, harmonious, gentle, kind, ease, joyous. Nothing else exists. And this becomes the simple way of love, of the return to love. Nothing has to be complicated because nothing is complicated. Every complexity, every sense of confusion, every sense of disturbance, every sense of turmoil is made by the mind that believes it is separate from the truth of God. There are no complexities in love, in the magnificence of creation. Again, the mind that made separation laughs and scoffs. No, but I made this intelligence to be in charge. No, the intelligence of creation, the intelligence of the universe is only love, only harmony, only peace. The fear of God is the radicalization, radically untrue. Fearing God is really the fear of yourself. That every beloved has projected onto God all of the pain and judgment that comes from fear. There is no judgment in God. Imagine, how can the universe run without judgment? How does the universe run without condemnation, without blame, without the belief that anyone can be betrayed, that anyone can be unfairly treated? How does the universe run? How does love move in the beauty and the perfection of eternal life when there is no blame? The mind that made up blame and vengeance and grievances and fear itself says, no, those are necessary. Those are real because I say so. And in that spin, in that constant spinning, love is not recognized. But love is calling constantly, constantly calling. To listen to the way of love, to quiet the mind, come into stillness and listen to the beautiful, perfect, harmonious guidance of love's lead. Lead me, show me, teach me. And then the realization comes, oh, this is the only purpose. The only purpose is to return. The ego would love you to be mournful for the belief that there is a sacrifice, sacrificing your goals, sacrificing your push, sacrificing your world. There is no sacrifice, because you cannot sacrifice what does not exist. But to accept that pain and suffering and battle and grievances and blame and vengeance, fear, that they're not reality, is a leap of faith. A leap of faith that is being called in every moment, moment to moment, until it becomes a comfort, until it is no longer a challenge, but it becomes the friend that comes to comfort, the friend that comes to comfort in truth. That you had a bad dream, that you made up an identity, but that it doesn't mean a thing. Can this be understood by the world that believes in separation? No. No. But in the yes of your heart, the yes of your divine intention, it opens and comfort is realized. It becomes so soothing to recognize, oh, thank you. I'm not what I thought I was. Oh, thank you. The world that I believed in and thought I saw does not exist. Thank you. Thank you for the truth of love. Thank you. Thank you that this nightmare can end. Thank you. That the heart can open. This heart can open and return to the oneness in the one heart. Thank you. I'm willing, I'm willing, I'm willing. And in that willingness, all healing occurs. Laughingly, God, the power of God, all divine beings that serve the truth of love, do not need your opinions of how it should be. Not only do they not need your opinions, but your opinions are truly what impede your journey of love. Imagine your life without opinions. Imagine the freedom of your existence without your opinions. Because all opinions, all that the opinions have in them is the past. Every time you have an opinion, a judgment, an assessment, you are recycling the past. You're not only recycling it, you're living it. Every opinion, every judgment says this is what is true. And then you relive the past again and 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 again. Lifetime after lifetime after lifetime of reliving the past. This need not be. This is not the truth of your divine self. But you cannot bring your opinions, assessments, and judgments with you into the purity of love, because they mean nothing and they impede you and hold you in the belief of your own belief of separation. I don't know. I don't know what anything means, what anything is for, how anything should be. Show me the way. Show me the way, I will follow. And when I become fearful, I ask for strength. I ask for the courage to rest in love. I ask for the courage to find the spirit within and connect with the divine that is always here. I ask to be shown the way of love. Every day, each day, while in the belief of time, even though time does not exist, has no meaning, and its only purpose can really be to be used for remembering the truth of love. And in that, you surrender time into the hands of healing itself. Let it be used for its only purpose. Let it be used. Not as a weapon, not to be used by the body identity that says, I know what time is all about. And I know that what I feel in the body is accurate and it defines who I am. No. Has no relationship at all to who you truly are. The body is a symbol of separation. It will fall away. You can replace it with another if you choose to come into another lifetime and continue the disbelief of love. But your divine spirit is wanting to be met. Your divine spirit is wanting to be recognized and lived. Your divine spirit is intact and is all that is real. Your divine spirit is joy-filled. Your divine spirit is the light of God. It's never anywhere else but within. The divine heart, the sacred heart of love, is the spirit of God. When you're in your mind, in your knowing, there's no connection to the heart. Surrender the mind, and the heart will open. Because the heart is listening to the protection and the belief of hatred of the mind that says, I must be defended. I must protect. Because death exists. There is no death. But to accept that you are the eternal light of God is a leap of faith. And the courage will come for that leap as you surrender. Surrender the everyday, moment to moment. I give this day to the truth. I give this day to the service of love and to remembering love. I give this day to the perfection. Help me to see with my heart. Help me to see with love. Help me. Help me to hear with compassion. Help me, help me, help me. And in that call for love's strength, the me disappears into love itself. In this moment, allow this prayer to fill your heart with not only devotion, to have your devotion sparked, to have it ignited, but to let the divine alchemy of love's healing that comes through every prayer be invited. You have that power. You have the power of your yes to invite healing, to invite clarity, to invite truth and honesty, to invite the remembering of love itself. Feel your tenderness, I feel your tenderness. I feel the tenderness of your ever-loving hand. I feel your tenderness. I feel your tenderness. I feel the tenderness from deep within. I feel your mercy, Lord. I feel your mercy, Lord. I feel the mercy, Lord, of your ever-loving hand. I feel your mercy, Lord. I feel your mercy, Lord. I feel your mercy, Lord, from deep within. I see your beauty, Lord. I see your beauty, Lord. I see your beauty, Lord, of your ever-loving hand. I see your beauty, Lord. I see your beauty, Lord. I see your beauty, Lord, from deep within. I sense your truth, O Lord. I sense your truth, O Lord. I sense your truth, O Lord, of your ever-loving hand. I sense your truth, O Lord. I sense your truth, O Lord. I sense your truth, O Lord, from deep within. Deep within. What is it to be deep within? Deep within in the quiet in the stillness, when the mind is no longer chattering, when the body is no longer being believed in and listened to its reactions of the emotional body. When you invite the stillness deep within, you will sense the truth of God. Deep within, you will see the beauty of creation. Deep within. Deep within. You will feel the tenderness because the mind is not running the show for just that moment. The willingness to let go and allow that stillness to be the center of the universe. Quiet. The quiet, beautiful stillness where you can hear the voice of love, where you can open and commune with the divine, because the divine is the center of your universe. It is everything. Everything else is totally fabricated by the mind of separation. In a moment of clarity as I walked the journey of love, I was deep, deep in that stillness, in a beautiful teaching that was bathing me in love. And the mind sprung out, threatened by the stillness, threatened by the fear of annihilation. And these words came out, the ego words that said, what about this, and what about this, and what about this? And the gentle voice of love answered, never mind. What about this? What about this? What about this? Just come back here in the stillness, in love, in peace. Find the way through the stillness. Breathe into the peace. Find the way. It will be shown to you in the quiet. And eventually, in that quiet, you can be in that quiet as you walk in this world, still in the quiet, in the peaceful, joyful heart. The mind is resting, not needed, open to the communion with God and being led until the merging completes itself. And you remember only love. In the prayers of love, elevate my mind. Take my mind into the truth of love itself. Elevate my thoughts to God, into the height of peace and harmony, where I can remember the brilliance of the universe. The brilliance of the universe that is always the light that is shining. It is the truth of all love. It opens my heart And it invigorates my mind with peace and harmony, as all of the belief of hatred, vengeance, grievances fall away. Falling away because they never were real. I am here to learn to sing of love. I am here to learn to sing with my heart, singing praises of love itself in every moment. As I praise in the perfection of all love, all divine beings that have come to serve humanity's remembering, I embrace and join with all divine beings in the truth of love. Elevei o pensamento a Deus lá nas alturas para reconhecer o brilho da formosura, o brilho da formosura em uma luz de alento que limpa meu coração e vigora meu pensamento. Aqui eu vou contando que a minha lida resta, viva Rei Juramidã e a rainha da floresta. The strength of prayer, the strength of the song of love is the strength of the universe, and at the same time, completely gentle. This is unknown in the world. To recognize the gentleness and strength are one. That there is never, never, never any purpose or reason for disturbance. The disturbances are all made up in the mind, projected outward, and seen again and again and again and again until the choice is made. I'm not interested. I'm not interested in fabrication. I'm not interested in lies of separation. I'm not interested in battle. I choose love. I choose harmony. I choose peace. I choose reality. Stop calling me a pregnant woman. My master once entered a phase that whenever I would see him, he would say, "Hafiz, how did you ever become a pregnant woman?" And I would reply, "My dear master, you must be speaking the truth, but all of what you say is a mystery to me." Many months passed by in his blessed company. But one day I lost my patience upon hearing that old refrain, and I blurted out, "Stop calling me a pregnant woman." And the master replied, "Someday, my sweet Hafiz, all the nonsense in your brain will dry up like a stagnant pool of water beneath the sun. Though if you want to know the truth, I can so clearly see that God has made love to you. and that the whole universe is germinating within you. And wonderful words, such enlightening words, will take birth from you and be cradled against thousands of hearts. Stop calling me a pregnant woman. That declaration is the same declaration as every declaration of the ego that thinks it knows something and battles against the truth of love. The ego is so determined to prove its point, to prove that it's right, to have ideas, and to have those ideas mean something. And yet, the divine can see that the whole universe is germinating within you, waiting to be recognized. And will every teacher, every master, we will all use every opportunity to hold the light of truth for you and with you, but at the same time will not play the foolish games of separation. The ego's frustration is a signal. The ego's frustration and disturbances are signals that there is truth coming close. And to the mind that believes in separation, the truth can seem to be a threat. The truth can seem to be the problem. If the master would just get in line with the program of the ego and listen to what the ego's opinions are, things would be much easier. But no master can agree and play the game. It's not possible. Thank God. Thank God the voice of truth holds true. Thank God the reality of love doesn't waver. It doesn't matter what the opinions are. Every master has heard them over and over and over again. Smiles, but does not agree. Stop calling me a pregnant woman. Could be any kind of term that the ego would want to use. And the signal in this divine prayer, this divine poem, is that Hafiz, in his journey to remembering, was caught by his own impatience. Even though there was an element that he was aware that his master was holding the truth. And that sanity is what prevailed. The sanity of what he truly wanted prevailed and took him to remembering. Coming back to sanity through prayer, through intention, and through a new relationship with humility that the ego knows nothing about. The ego has no relationship with humility. The ego's only relationship is with arrogance. And arrogance is totally, totally run by fear. It's an I know that is so frightened of losing the perception of being in control that its whole life seems to depend on being right. And yet, there is no truth there. Something that occurs in the journey of love is that the ego identity really wants the spiritual journey of remembering to be based on the journey of development of an ego. So the mind tries to apply all of the ways that the ego works and tries to use it in the same way in the spiritual journey. For example, in the seeming journey of separation, there are consequences, there are punishments, there are repercussions, there are condemnations, there are sins, there are rules to follow, there is right and wrong, there is good and bad, and each one is the judge and jury of what they think they know and what they think they see. And if you are not holding your own as the judge and the jury, then you go underneath that and you see yourself as a victim of the world. And it makes you want to even be more defended. When you step into the conscious spiritual journey, all of those defense systems and rules that have been made up and all of the ideas of what you think you know cannot be applied to the spiritual journey. There is no condemnation in God. There is no right and wrong. There is no good and bad. There is no rules that have been made up, and there is no judge and jury. The laws of God are love. The laws of God are perfection and joy and harmony. The laws of God are the true empathy, where you recognize each beloved as the divine, the holiness, and then you realize it that you're all one, and that there is no you and there is no them, and love comes home. But you cannot apply your knowing, your rules, your world, your ideas to the spiritual journey. All that it does is make pain and suffering seem to be that the spiritual journey is filled with pain and suffering. But it's only because you're bringing with you your knowing instead of that's actually what's being surrendered. And to come empty. what is it to come empty onto God? To come empty onto God is to leave everything that you thought you knew, because it's all made up. You can't bring condemnation with you. You can't bring guilt with you. You can't bring shame with you. You can't bring heartache with you. You can't bring being betrayed with you. You can't bring vengeance, grievances, condemnations. You can't bring any of that with you. Is that a sacrifice? No, of course not. But in the insanity of the belief of separation, the mind convinces that it's a sacrifice, that you really want these things. And you want God to use them. You want there to be condemnation. You want righteous condemnation of everybody that's wrong, because you want to be right. This is insanity. Heaven is all peace, all harmony, all joy, all light, all freedom, and beyond. Why would you want to bring your knowing of pain and suffering from the past with you on the spiritual journey when that is exactly what you're letting go of? That's the whole intention of the spiritual journey, is to let go, to let the lies go. The wishful thinking of the ego is, I wish I was brighter. I wish I was more talented. I wish I had better gifts. I wish I was more recognized. I wish I was more loved. I wish I was more abundant in the world. I wish I was more powerful in the world. You are the divine light of God. You are everything that is perfect. There is nothing to get. You are the divine. But to accept that is to let go of what you know. To let go. One of the teachings that is, one of the truths that is the most resistant in the world is to recognize that you are responsible for everything that you see. That there is nothing outside of what you see that you're making up. When you begin to see with your heart, with love, then you begin to see the union, the beauty, the perfection, the harmony, the peace, the joy. You not only see it, you are it. It becomes your identity of truth that is beyond identity. It is what you are. But first, to accept that you are responsible for what you see. Not responsible as in condemnation, but just realizing, oh, this is all coming from my own mind of the past. My belief of condemnation, my belief of being unfairly treated, my belief that I can be betrayed, my belief that vengeance has reality, and that grievances are real. But they're all coming from the mind that's separated from God. And forgiveness is the acceptance that this doesn't mean anything, I was mistaken, and it means nothing. It's gone because it never was. I am responsible for what I see. I choose the feelings that I live. I choose them. They're not coming from outside. They're not being made from something outside that you're reacting to. You react to your own mind. You react to what you have projected out there, and you see it reflected back to you, everything that you believe. How can this be accepted? Because you have choice. You have the choice of trusting that if God is all love, then none of this can be reality. And I have the power to choose. I have the power to no longer want to condemn myself or anyone with untruth. I'm responsible, and I experience what I decide I want to experience because of my beliefs of the past. Beloveds are used to hearing me say, "How familiar is this?" It's always familiar. It's never something new. The feelings that you experience that come from the mind and the decisions that you have made with your own mind are always familiar because they're always coming from the past. And how does the past heal? Exactly in this moment. To surrender the past and all that you have believed was real of the past, and refuse to condemn anyone or hold anyone hostage any longer as the problem, as the source of the problem, setting everyone free, to return everyone to the light of truth, of love. You have that power. No one who lives in the belief of separation recognizes that power. They believe the belief in the belief of separation. The belief is, I will control my world by changing everyone in it to do what I want and how I see it, instead of, I am making this up in my mind. My pain is being caused by my belief in the past, nothing else. My belief that I am separate from God, and it's not true. I am upset because I believe I'm separate from God, and there is no problem because I am not separate from God. Because I believe it, because I think it, because I feel it, does not make it true. I accept I am one with all love. And that is where all the healing is. The refusal to accept any longer the beliefs of the past that keep showing up until you make that choice. Only you can choose. You can choose to surrender what you think you know into the hands of God, and the power of God, the power of the universe, the power of creation will transform everything that you surrender. Putting your faith in the masters that serve you, that bring all divine teachings of truth and love. That leap of faith. Asking for the strength to make that leap of faith. I experience and I decide upon the outcomes that I want. This to the ego seems insane, that you are having outcomes that you want. And it's indicated by your upset and by your disturbances within. place of joy, the place of peace is the natural state. And the realization that the form has really no meaning at all. To be at the center of the universe in peace and harmony, even as it seems that you are in the center of a hurricane, and yet there is no disturbance within, because you recognize that there is no meaning needed to be given to the seeming hurricane that is swirling around, because there is no death. That is at the center of all fear, the belief that you will die and that you need to protect the body because you believe it is who you are. You are the divine spirit of love. To accept this is to accept the universe of love itself. Accepting. Everything that seems to happen to me, I ask for and receive as I have asked. This is not a condemnation. This is a realization of the power that you have of choice. And that this choice of peace and harmony, and that you are not at the effect of anything outside you. Because everything that seems to be outside you is temporary and is not reality. Only love is real. Only love is reality. This cannot be known by the mind that has made up separation and split itself off in a separate identity. It will not be understood by the mind that says death is real. But to accept that you are the light of God and that you cannot die is the beginning of that choice. I am upset because I see something that is not there. I made up, I gave it all meaning, and now I'm seeing again my past, again and again and again as I choose. But not reality. Love is calling you home. Love is calling you to peace. And the divine alchemy of healing is real. It is a temporary state of love's purpose. While there are beloveds who believe themselves to be separate, love shows up to meet and heal and transform everything that you are willing to surrender to it. Take my world, take everything that I made, and transform it into love, because I don't know anything, because I don't know the way. I will listen, and I will no longer project my beliefs, my thoughts, my knowing, my assessments, my condemnations on anything, including myself. Because everything is just that, trying to get rid of the self-hatred, of the belief that you separated from God when you never did. You can't separate from the source of life. It's not possible. Just because you made up a dream doesn't make it real. When you dream at night, it seems totally real. That's why they're called nightmares most of the time. how devastating is a nightmare? It's so devastating that you have night sweats, that you are shaking, that it disturbs you all day long from having a nightmare at night because it seems so real that you can't even shake out of it. That's exactly the same thing that you're walking through during the day of your own mind. It's all coming from the mind. The same mind that made up the nightmare at night is making up the daytime nightmare. How different is it? Not different at all. You think it's different because you think the nightmare at night is something different. It isn't different. It seems totally real when you're in it. You can taste it. You can smell it. Your whole body reacts to it as if it has reality. You feel the threats in a nightmare. You feel the adrenaline running. Your heart is beating fast in the nightmare. You are in reaction in the nightmare. You may even scream out in the nightmare. None of it's real. When you wake up from the nightmare, you go, oh, okay, that was a dream. Okay, I'll turn the lights on. It was a dream. Well, that's the same thing that's being called to in your daytime illusions. This is a dream. I'm believing in it because I believe in it. I believe I can be hurt. I can believe I can be threatened. I believe I can be in battle. I believe that there is scarcity. I believe that there is condemnation. It doesn't make it real. It doesn't make it true. Illusion is illusion. And the willingness to heal and invite the divine alchemy of God's healing is all that walking in this journey is about. Because in truth, the journey doesn't even exist except in the mind. It is truly a journey without distance to a place that you never left except in your own mind. When you surrender the belief that it's a threat to be free, to be at peace, to forgive, love can help you heal. Love can take whatever you offer and it can be healed. Truly, truly healed. Deceive yourself no longer that you are helpless in this world against anything outside, because there is nothing outside. You have the power of healing in your choice, moment to moment to moment. At first, that moment to moment will seem to be tedious and difficult because your habits are so entrenched, so ingrained in your identity that you have to consciously be present. When you're in a trance of your habits, you're not present. You're in habit. It's all familiar. You have your expectations. You have your conclusions. You have the outcome of what you think is going to be right to you. This is not being present. To be present is to be truly here without the past and free of the future. And to allow that love is here, present, and it is you. It is the truth of who you are. Always, always. Truth will come and correct all errors in my mind. Truth will come and correct all errors in my mind. But first, there has to be an acceptance that there's an error in your mind. You can't invite truth when you're believing that you're right. But truth will come and correct all errors. I am mistaken when I think I can be hurt in any way. How much of a leap of faith is that? I am mistaken when I think I can be hurt in any way. This is a powerful, powerful prayer. This is a powerful, powerful statement of truth and alignment. I am mistaken when I think I can be hurt in any way, except by my own thoughts that drive me insane. But I'm not even hurt then because they don't mean anything and they're not changing the truth of who you are. They're just making you miserable, making you unconnected, disconnected from the truth of love and freedom and peace. I am God's child whose self rests safely in the heart of God. I am the child of God, resting safely in the heart of God. Can you accept this? That's all that it is, an acceptance. Yes, yes, I accept this. I have wandered in the desert looking for the well of love, and now the well is offered to me. Will I accept it? Yes, I have been mistaken when I believe that I can be unfairly treated. I am mistaken when I think I can be hurt in any way. No one can do anything to anyone to change the truth of who they are. That's all fabricated. You cannot die with the light of God, the truth of God, complete and open and whole. This is a place of joy and celebration. This is not a place of horribleness that God is trying to take away your world that you have made. Really? Because at the same time, the insanity is lamenting the pain and the suffering and the belief of death. Is that what you're afraid of letting go of? To be afraid of death? To accept that you cannot die, that you are eternal and the light and innocence of all creation, and that your calling of love is to sing and dance as the divine materialized? It's who you are. It's what you are. And it has no resemblance at all to the you that you made. Thank God. Thank God I wasn't right in what I thought I knew. Thank God the nightmare of the past was not reality. Thank God freedom was available. Thank God the arrogance, the idea of being a victim, the hate, the self-absorption, the pain, the suspicions, the vengeance, all of it could disappear because it never was. And that light and joy and peace abide within as the divine. And thank God, there is no enemy. There is no other. Thank God. Thank God that all the beloveds are the light of God as one. Thank God. There is no need for ownership and specialness and proving worth. The pain of trying to prove your worth is hell. You don't have to be afraid of hell. The mind makes up its own hell, trying to prove its worth, trying to be the controller, the knower. So painful, so fearful, and so untrue. Nothing of that is real. But it's that acceptance, the acceptance of the truth of love, the acceptance. I don't know. Show me the way. Show me, please. I'm ready. I'm willing. And the light comes to that heart that is willing. The power of your willingness is the power of the universe, rejoining with the truth of all life itself, the truth of life, the truth of love, the life force of God.